Hello everyone, and welcome to a very nice weekend improving game played between Mikhail Tal and Tigran Petrosian. Before we check out this very nice game, let's check out one of the photos I have in store for the photo challenge for this video. It's not going to be too difficult, especially for those of you who are constantly improving your vast knowledge. So best of luck to everyone. Who is the little boy in this photo? As you can see, he's holding a simultaneous exhibition. The photo was taken in 1920. It's a pretty famous photo. Pretty sure most of you should know who he is, and you know, he will grow up to do amazing things. So best of luck to you all. Now, regarding this game, it's a blitz game played between Mikhail Tal and Tigran Petrosian. It's not very often I will show a blitz game, but when a game is as exciting as this one, and especially if it's against the French defense, then I will show it. And I don't have a photo of this game in particular, but I do have one photo of Tal playing against Petrosian from 1975. It's this photo. It's not of the greatest quality, but it will definitely help us, you know, get in the mood to check out this game. So there's the photo. I do hope you enjoyed it, and now let's check it out. Just a second. Sorry about that. Okay, so e4, and like we said, e6. We have the French defense on the board. d4, d5, and now Tal goes for knight to d2. Not going for knight to c3. That's pretty much going into bishop to b4, the Winawer variation. So basically knight to d2, the Tarrasch variation, avoiding the Winawer. We have knight to e7, knight to g to f3, and knight to d7. So if you look at this formation, when you see something like this, you are either playing against you know, a total noob, or against a former world champion such as Tigran Petrosian, and you know that some very nice defensive setup is about to emerge. We have bishop to d3, c5, and now e captures on d5. Here, just if you face the French defense a lot, you should never be afraid of a move such as c4. Even if you castle here and black does push c4, it's not really all that good for black. Yes, he will make your light square bishop a bit less active, but you know, it's not a problem. You will challenge his advancement on c4 with b3. If he pushes b5, then with a4 later on. So if you play against the French, you know, never fear the c4 move. E captures on d5 by Tal, knight captures on d5, and Tal castles. We have c captures on d4, and now capturing a d4 with the knight immediately is perfectly fine, but you know, you always have to make it interesting. So knight to b3, just seeing if maybe this will you know, awaken something creative in Petrosian, and maybe he will start playing this game crazy as well. Knight to c5. So he would definitely enjoy if Tal captured on c5, and he could develop his bishop with tempo. Tal plays bishop to b5 check. We have bishop to d7 blocking, and now bishop captures on d7. Queen captures, and now queen captures on d4. And Petrosian goes queen to a4, now offering a trade of queens, which is a very nice idea. If Tal would capture, then knight captures. You're constantly pressuring the b2 pawn. Rook is coming to c8. This will be very nice. It will be an excellent position for black. And on the other hand, after queen to a4, if you go knight captures on c5, then after queen captures, knight captures, bishop captures, and knight moves. Bishop to e7, black definitely equalized, the material is equal, but black has two developed pieces. This rook will be developed very nicely. King will castle, you can double up on the c file, all is well for black here. You know, if someone's better, then definitely black is better here. So after queen to a4, Tal plays c4, not allowing the queen exchange, and if you see a move like c4, you're probably thinking, wow, that truly is a madman's move. What happens after knight captures on b3? Your queen is under attack, and also if you capture the knight, then queen captures rook. So what is Tal's idea when he played c4? Well, exactly that. So Petrosian played knight captures on b3, and Tal plays a captures on b3. Now Petrosian's queen is under attack, and also his knight on d5 is under attack. So basically Tal is forcing Petrosian to capture his rook on a1. So we have queen captures, and now c captures on d5. And it's a very difficult position for black here. What do you play here? You definitely do want to castle. If this bishop moves with tempo, your queen gets under attack. You can't really develop something like bishop here, then queen to g7 will be an option. And if you try something like queenside castle, which seems like a move that completely, you know, gets black out of trouble, then queen to c4 is deadly. You don't really have a good move here. If you go king to b8, then bishop to f4, the king is in check, you lose the queen here. And if you don't, if you play something like king here, well, that's no better. Then comes pawn captures, and knight to e5 check. King moves, and now comes bishop to g5. This also comes with check, king d6, and now queen d4 check, king moves, and now queen captures on d8, and this is checkmate. So there you have it. So after this c captures on d5, Petrosian tried queen to a6, and queen to a6 is an excellent defensive resource. Of course, it takes a Petrosian to find a move like this. And here, capturing on e6 is the engine's recommendation. But it's a blitz game. Tal doesn't go for this. Tal goes for the active rook to e1, simply putting a rook in front of black's king. Petrosian castles queenside here. We have bishop to f4, not allowing black king to escape via king to b8. Also, rook to c1 will be a very dangerous move now. We have rook to d5, capturing, and now comes rook to c1 check. King to d8, and now comes bishop to g5 check. Of course, the rook cannot capture the bishop as the rook is pinned, and king to e8 is played here by Petrosian. A move like f6 doesn't really work. Then comes bishop captures, pawn captures, queen captures with check, and after king moves or bishop blocks, it's all the same. Queen captures on h8, and now white is actually up in material. He's up a pawn and in a much better position. So after this bishop to g5 check, Petrosian goes king to e8. And now, of course, everyone is expecting rook to c8. The problem with rook to c8 is that Petrosian has a defensive idea against this. King to d7. And after rook to d8 check, king to c7. And now after queen to f4 check, bishop to d6. And black managed to escape, and he will defend this position. Queen captures on f7, king escapes. And it will be a nice king walk for black, but Petrosian is always up for a king walk. So this would be very good for black. So after this king to e8 move, Tal played, well, what could Tal play other than a Tal move? Tal played knight to e5. And what's the idea? Of course, Petrosian can now capture Tal's queen. But the idea behind knight to e5 is that knight now guards d7 square. And of course, capturing immediately loses the rook to c8 check. The king has nowhere to go. The knight and bishop create a wall in front of the king. And after rook to d8, rook captures will be a very nice opera house checkmate. So after this knight to e5 move, Petrosian saw, okay, there's no way I can allow rook to c8 check. He played b6. But b6 is actually a terrible, terrible move, and Tal immediately takes advantage of this. And there is only one move that completely crushes black here. You are Tal here. Pause the video and defeat Tigran Petrosian. So I will give it a couple of seconds for you to, if you want to consider solving this position. So okay, for those of you who were able to do it, congratulations, you are a true man of the opera. Because here, as this was played in the game, Tal played queen to a4 check. And after queen to a4 check, Petrosian simply resigned the game. If he does anything other than capturing the queen, then Petrosian loses the queen and the game. And of course, if queen captures, then we get the same idea. Hello, the opera house checkmate. Rook c8 check, rook has to block, and then rook captures. And we have this rook-bishop combo that is deadly, and black is checkmated. And okay, after this queen to a4, Petrosian resigned the game, but it's very interesting after this weasel move by Tal, this knight e5 move. Petrosian actually could have defended, but he didn't find the strongest continuation. One move definitely wins the game for black, and it's also, a very nice idea. Petrosian was, under a lot of pressure. It was a blitz game. He's playing against Tal. Tal is attacking him. So it's not really the same. If you want, feel free to pause the video here and try to refute Tal's knight e5 idea. So, as usual, I will give it a couple of seconds. For those of you who were able to do it, congratulations. You have just refuted an attack by Mikhail Tal. And for those of you who just want to enjoy the show, the idea is bishop to c5. After the bishop to c5, it's no longer the same. If white plays rook captures, then the same idea does not apply. Black doesn't have to capture the queen and allow this very nice checkmate. Black can simply play queen to a1 check, and now the king has nowhere to go. You have to block this. Okay, the rook is guarded by the bishop, but simply queen captures with check. bishop captures, and now rook captures queen. And yes, white does have 2 pieces, and black does have 2 rooks, but there is no defense against rook to d1. White can't defend both checkmate and the bishop on c1. So either g3 or king to f1, you have to block checkmate, and then after rook to d1 check, king moves, and now you have 2 rooks against a knight, a completely winning position. Unfortunately for Petrosian, he did not see bishop to c5. After this knight e5, this sneaky move by Tal, he played b6, and it's all over. Queen to a4, and a beautiful victory for Mikhail Tal, resembling that of Paul Morphy. Hence the title of the video. Well, there you have it. So yeah, that's the game. I do hope you enjoyed it. I would like to thank Ahmed Gari, Raman Valjur Ramalingam, Paul Vitalaro, Vladislav Nesteruk, and Simon Cerekvist for a contribution to my channel. Thank you a lot, I really appreciate it. As usual, you can check 2 of my previous videos here. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you soon, probably with a couple of more of your suggestions, and then we'll see if I will be covering the entire Leuven tournament. If not, we will continue with our Magnus Carlsen versus Vishwanathan Anand World Chess Championship match. So yeah, thank you all, and I will see you soon.